Hello all, hello patrons, and welcome to another reading. So this reading is going to be on what is your advice on how to deal with this ending that you're either about to go through, whether conscious or like a conscious ending that you're choosing, or an ending that is happening to you, an ending that you're choosing in the future, or it's presently happening, whatever it is, or maybe it's already happened and you're looking for a way to deal with a specific sort of an ending. So that's what this reading is for. So we have four groups: group 1, group 2, group 3, and group 4. You can take your time, pause the video, and see which card is calling to you, and we're going to get started. So let's get started with group number 1, how to deal with this ending. So let's put all the other cards away for a second. Group 1, how should you deal with this ending? Four of Swords, you're being asked to... Well, first of all, I feel like this ending, it's, even if it's feeling dramatic right now, or if there's like a level of drama that you feel is attached to it, that's going to disperse very quickly. That's going to disperse and go away very quickly. It's not going to be like an issue. It's not going to be a big deal. You're being asked not to take any sudden actions. You're being asked to take a nap. Like, I'm kind of getting like, take a nap with this ending. Like, definitely don't take any sudden actions. Don't make any sudden movements. Give yourself space. Don't overthink it. There's not a lot that you need to do with this ending. That's the good news in a sense, right? Group 1. Dealing with this ending, the best way to deal with it is to be as chill and laid back as possible, to give yourself as much space as possible. Let's see what else. I think meditating, plenty space to meditate, but I'm also kind of getting like napping, being idle, like this feeling of being idle in your energy is really important for this ending to progress. 5 of Pentacles. Advice on dealing with this ending. The Magician. I'm really getting that there will be time to do things about this ending in the future. Right now, there's a need to just kind of lay low and gather your strength again. I feel for some of you, there's something to do with health. You know yourself, I don't really like doing health readings. But there might be something that you need to gather your health, but this could just be gathering your strength. Like giving yourself space to gather strength. This feels like a type of ending where whatever this is that has ended maybe took a lot of your resources or took a lot of your energy at a certain point in your life, took a lot of your... like even confidence. There's something about building up your confidence, I feel. But the thing is, your guides are not saying that you need to go and like build confidence like crazy now and go and be like, oh my God, I'm going to be so confident now. I'm going to build my confidence. Like before, what do we need to do before we start building confidence? We need to rest. Because we can't have confidence before we rest. I always think of the 12th house and the first house. The first house is the house of that, confidence is kind of 5th house, but that's more so confidence to express ourselves, express the ego. The first house is the confidence just to start, to go for something, to be brave. And the 12th house usually talks about rest and talks about detachment and talks about being confused and allowing yourself to be lost. And so I feel like with this ending, your guides and the energies around you are really encouraging you to make sure that you are fully rested and that you've given yourself enough space to process everything that has happened that has to do with this ending before you go and build that confidence, before you go and showcase kind of like a certain level of bravery or courage. But what I'm getting with the Magician is that time will come. It's not that, oh, you're not confident enough. The confidence is there. It's just that without necessary rest, without necessary kind of laid back energy, you won't be able to let that confidence shine effectively. So I feel like this ending, I just feel like don't be too upset about whatever has ended here. Maybe some of you are not even upset about whatever has ended here, because what I'm getting, either this thing has taken a lot of your peace and has taken a lot of your resources, a lot of your energy, or that's the direction that this was going into. So it's kind of like if something has ended before it even started, or if something has ended and you're kind of like, oh, there's this feeling of it would have wasted your time, effort, peace, and money. I'm really strongly getting that. So this is something that your guides are saying is, again, that phrase, that classic lovely phrase, a blessing in disguise, whatever has ended here. I want to pull some astrology cards as well. Especially if it has something to do with career. This is really, especially if you're asking about something to do with career, something to do with things that you're working on. Like, for example, let's say a job that didn't work out or a project that didn't work out. This ending is for the best. What you're not realizing right now is that this particular ending that you're asking about, it's actually laying foundations for very strong stability. You're about to thrive because of this blessing. We've got card Trine. This feels like divine protection, this ending. Your career is about to thrive because of this ending. It's a very interesting. There's something very like I'm seeing someone building more effectively. So it's like maybe whatever has ended here, because it's gone, you'll be able to build better. It's going to be easier. I'm also getting that it'll be easier to know what your priorities are because of this ending. Like, it'll be easier to prioritize certain things. So maybe this was always the thing that you prioritized, and all of a sudden, because it is ending, you'll be able to prioritize things better. This is actually grounding you into something, like into like efficiency. This ending is grounding you into a certain level of efficiency in your life. Even if this was a relationship, it's like you're going to become more efficient at relationships because of this relationship ending. But if it's not a relationship, I really feel like there's something connected to career, and I think you're actually going into a state of flow and things feeling easier. This ending is providing ease. It's providing flow, like I said. That's really nice. I'm honestly getting someone who is very organized, but not in this kind of traditional way that we see organization. It's like organized. It's like a level up from even being organized. It's when you're so organized in your energy, like you're energetically organized, that the practical reality just organizes itself in front of you. Does that make sense? Like, I'm getting, you're so organized in your energy that you don't even need to do the practical organization. It kind of just comes together. I'm also getting time management. Your time management is about to get better because of this ending. That's interesting. And everything that has been feeling stuck outside of this particular thing that has ended is going to start, like, shoot off into, you know, kind of like there's progress here that's been stagnant because of this thing that needed to end. So yeah, I think that's all I have for you on that group one. So this is your advice on this ending. I actually think this is a really nice reading. So, yep, so that's what I have. We're going to move forward. Thank you so much for supporting me on Patreon. I really, really appreciate it. And we're moving on to group number 2. So group number 2, your advice on this ending. How to manage this ending. We've got Knight of Wands. Move on. And move on knowing that this is, like, get excited about the fact that this has ended. Like, I'm honestly getting with this, it's like, it's an exciting thing that this is ending. Like, get excited the fact that this is ending or this has ended. Be brave as well, like, be very courageous. What I'm hearing is, like, this is the time to really have big balls, or, like, be very ballsy about whatever this ending, like, whatever this ending represents or whatever this ending is. Be very ballsy with what you're about to do next. This is a good time for risk taking. I'm kind of getting that energy for you. I'm really getting a very strong energy. Don't look back. Like, just move forward, move on as if it never even happened. I mean, of course, take this message. If you're intuitively like, no, I need to grieve this, then of course take that. Like, I'm not saying that you should just completely ignore whatever happened here. But some of you probably will know, like, yes, I shouldn't even look back. Like, there's not really that much that I should be grieving with this, you know? I feel like for most of you who have asked about whatever you've asked about here, this feels like an ending that there's not that much to grieve with this ending. It's like there's not that much to feel sorrow or loss over. It's like, okay, it's ended. For some of you, maybe that's not the case. But maybe you're feeling like, yes, I'd like to just move on from it. We've got the Queen of Swords. I'm really getting, like, stick to it. Stick to this. Stick to it. Like, don't go back. So for a lot of you, I feel like you're the one who chose to end this. You're the one who chose to walk away, or you set the boundary. Don't go back on it is basically the advice here. Don't go back on it. We've got a lot of court cards. Look at that. All the court cards. Maybe there's a lot of people involved, or I'm kind of getting, don't worry about what other people think. I'm really getting this energy. Don't look back. Stick to your decision. 3 of Pentacles. It's kind of like you can ask for advice from other people, or consider advice from other people on this situation. But at the end of the day, you need to stick to what you have decided. At the end of the day, you need to stick to your guns. At the end of the day, you cannot look back at this point. The decision has been made. Like, I feel like for a lot of you who have chosen this group, it's an ending that you decided had to happen. Like, you made the decision to end something here. It's not like someone else ended this, from what I'm seeing. I do see that for some of you, like, I'm just getting, I'm kind of getting, you know, that there's energies out there that will collaborate and work with you better. So whether this is a job that you left, you know that there are jobs out there and opportunities out there that will mesh with you better, work with you better. Whether this is a relationship that you've left, you know that there will be people who will work with you better, mesh with you better, right? So there's something here of, you already know the answers. This is a very strong pile of you already know what to do. And, like, you know, these readings, I always find when I get a reading where it just says, well, you already know what to do, I kind of feel guilty because I'm supposed to be doing this reading, but it's, you know, it's it's the cards just being like, oh, well, you already know what to do. You already know what to do. You already know, like, if you've left a relationship and you're kind of like, how do I deal with this ending? Your guides are kind of like, you already know, and you already know the type of person that you're actually looking for to be in a relationship with. If you just left a job, it's this feeling of you already know what to do, and you already know what direction you want to go into when it comes to your career. if you ended a friendship, same thing. You know, there's just this energy of there's not much advice that you actually need on this ending, on this situation. Let's pull some astrology cards. First house. It's all about what you think. I'm also getting, like, if you're getting advice from other people, consider it, but you already know you don't even need advice. So try not to, I'm kind of getting like, don't get crowded with advice. You know, when we're seeking too much advice and we're looking to every single friend and every family member to give us advice in a specific situation, and we're getting all this conflicting advice, that can be overwhelming for us sometimes. So your guides are just really saying you need to really listen to yourself. You need to really listen to your... Oh, I'm so tired of dropping cards. 7th house and Pisces. Don't get lost in what other people have to say about this ending. Don't get lost in what, no matter, even if it's like, let's say you have a partner and your partner has something to say. You know, usually if you have a partner, someone you're like living with, someone you're, running a home with, and let's say you left a job, maybe they have something very important to say about what you did and the ending that you're going through. But at the end of the day, even how close they are to you, no matter how close a person is to you, they won't be able to understand exactly what you're going through. And I feel like there's something along those lines with you, group 2, where you have people who you're very close with, you're very close to, but they'll never be able to understand the exact reason why you needed this ending to happen. But the main message that I'm getting here is like, it was your destiny to have this ending. Don't even look back. Stick to your horses, like, or stick to your guns. Stick to your guns. Hold your horses. That's the phrase. Stick to your horses. Or is it hold to? No, I'm confused. I don't fucking remember. Stick to what you've decided is basically the advice here. And I feel like this ending is more of a decision that came from you. So that's what I have for group 2, your advice on your ending. Thank you so much for supporting me. And I'm going to move on to group 3. So group 3, let's see your advice for your ending. What's going on, man? Sorry, I'm like sitting really awkwardly today, but I don't know, I'm feeling a bit odd in my body, so I'm wanting to move a lot. Okay, so group 3, interesting. I'm very self-conscious and self-aware in your reading, so maybe you're very self-aware around this ending. Let's see, advice for this ending for group 3, the Strength card. Oh, I'm getting a very interesting message. Be aware that there's going to be moments, probably quite soon, where you will feel kind of chaotic about this ending, where you will feel kind of scared and overwhelmed about this ending, but know that you're able to manage that fear and you're able to manage that chaos that's going to come in, because the higher level self of you knows that this ending was needed. So I'm kind of getting that there's going to be moments soon, or maybe even like in months from now, maybe even years from now, where you will have this feeling of, oh my God, what have I done? Why this ending, like this? And even if this ending happened to you rather than you actively went out and chose it, there's this feeling of just like, oh my God, this ending. There's almost like, I'm getting this kind of energy, like, oh no, what did I do? Like this kind of feeling. And you're gonna have to manage that, because at the end of the day, you know that this ending is the best thing for you. So I feel like this message is more so preparing you for moments where you will have to exercise that patience with yourself. Any other advice for be patient? You're gonna have your guides want you to know that you're gonna have to be patient with yourself when it comes to this ending. You're gonna have to be patient with yourself. You're gonna have to be very gentle, very soft, very understanding, because there's gonna be a side of you that is going to be so devastated and so regretful about going through this ending. There's going to be a side of you that may not accept this ending for a very, very long time, even if the higher self you is able to accept it completely. And that's something that you are probably aware of, but I feel like your guides are just saying, be prepared that there's going to be moments where you're going to feel, and it's not going to be you, it's going to be a portion of you that's going to feel like you made the biggest mistake. Like, this ending, if it didn't come from you, if the ending kind of came from an external force, that it was just like, I can't believe that I can't believe I lost this job, this person, this opportunity. Like, there's that, I'm kind of getting that grieving this loss or this ending. It's going to be, it's going to be a process. It's quite a process, but there's a lot for you to learn from it. It's almost like this ending was part of your contract on a soul level, but it was like the process of grieving this ending was also a process. And I'm kind of saying you need to really watch how you talk to yourself when it comes to this process. Really observing your inner thoughts, your inner monologue, your like what you say, the words that you use when you're speaking about this, and that's all going to be very important. Okay, very interesting. But the main thing here is your guides are saying you really need to be like extra gentle with yourself around this ending. And I'm kind of getting, don't rush into anything new. Saturn return. For some of you, maybe it's part of your Saturn return. This ending is part of your Saturn return. It's part of your lessons. You are maturing at an insane level because of this ending. This was always going to be something you had to go through in a way, because it's allowing you to mature and to see yourself as a lot more capable and like kind of able to manage very difficult emotions. There's something about you becoming more like emotionally mature because of this process. Cancer. You need to be very nurturing and very loving with yourself at this point. And I'm also saying you need to surround yourself with loving energy, nurturing energy around this ending. If anyone's talking to you about this ending and they use any harsh, blunt language, you shouldn't be around that person. At this time. I'm not saying at all, but I feel like you're insanely sensitive right now because of this ending, and you might even be kind of saying to yourself like, okay, I need to get over it, like I just need to move past it, I need to move on. No, like actually Ellen, that's not true. That's not true. You need to be very sensitive with yourself. You need to listen to your emotions very carefully. Kind of like a mother would listen to a child when they're having a tantrum. And that's what I'm seeing. Like, there's going to be internal tantrums that I feel you will be feeling at certain points to do with this ending. These like insane tantrums that, you may just feel internally, they're not even coming out to the surface. You need to listen to them rather than be like, okay, I need to get over it. Like, okay, what's ended has ended. There's no getting over it other than feeling it and being very, like, I'm seeing someone going like this and just listening. Like when you take a shell and you listen to the ocean in the shell? I'm getting that kind of energy for you, group 3. There's a need to really listen to your emotions, to your body. Like, what are they trying to tell me? Because this ending is breaking through certain emotions that are very, very, unheard in you. There are certain emotions or delicate, it's like there's little versions of you that are not being heard inside of you, and they're gonna start having tantrums as a result of this ending. But it's a good thing, because they needed to be heard, and this ending is how they're gonna be heard. And we've got Scorpio, another water sign, very sensitive energy. What you need to know is that you're sensitive right now, and it's okay. It's okay. You're supposed to be. You need to feel the full extent of the emotions that you are feeling to do with this ending, and not rush yourself to just get over it. This is not the kind of ending that you just get over. It's going to be probably a slow process. That's something that your guides want to prepare you for. This ending, going through this ending, is probably going to be a slow process where you're going to have to listen. You're going to have to be very sensitive with those parts of you that need to be heard. No matter how silly it seems, no matter how you feel like you'd just like to get it over with and just move on, you're going to have to really, really listen. This is a time to listen to yourself. And if there are people who are telling you to get over this ending, like, I'm getting that very strongly. You should not be around those people. I'm getting that very strongly. If this ending is happening and there are people around you who are like, what are you, like, why are you crying about this? Like, oh my God. Even if this is an ending that you're asking about that has happened a long time ago, I feel like for some of you, it might even be that. Just don't even allow these people into that vulnerable space, because I'm like actually feeling this emotion right now. You are so vulnerable right now, and that's a good thing. You need to be vulnerable. You need to feel that vulnerability. Don't allow these people to make you feel like you shouldn't be vulnerable or in this soft, like, raw space right now. You're very raw right now with this ending. Or if you're planning on doing this ending, it's gonna be a very raw experience. You're gonna have to be so gentle, like gentle, you know, like when someone cuts themselves and like a nurse will go and like clean out the wound, you know kind of when they clean all the blood and you see like the meat, sorry, it's kind of gross, it's very graphic, but you see the meat in the wound, it's like how gentle and soft and raw is that meat, like the muscle or whatever. How gentle and raw is that in there? That's your emotions right now. You're gentle and raw and you're tired. I'm even getting like you're tired, and you need to feel it. You just really need to feel it. Oh my God, I'm getting emotional for you, group 3. Just like allow yourself and be around people who get that and understand that and don't rush you to get over this ending. This is a really important ending. The other groups, actually, I'm not even going to mention the other groups, but I'm just saying, out of all the groups, I'm guessing, looking at all these groups, I only have one left. I think this is the kind of ending that actually, like, you need to cry about it. You need to think about it, process it, be gentle with it. This is not an ending that you're supposed to just like, oh, okay, just get over it. This is not a job where you just get over it. This is something that needs time, needs healing, and it's going to be a process. And there's going to be moments where you think you're over it and those thoughts are going to pop up again and you're going to have to work through it again. And that's okay. And I feel like you need like a good friend of yours or someone who's by your side who can listen to you. Like when you need to talk about something over and over again, how something hurt you. And I think like this is, I do believe this is quite a problem that we face in today's society. This thing of like, just get over it. It's like, oh, when will this person get over it? And we always attribute like this obsessiveness to like, this person's crazy, they're obsessing over it. But we never consider how something can hurt a person so bad that they need to talk about it that much. They need to talk and talk and talk and talk about it. And yeah, I think this is the kind of thing here that you'll need to do. And you need someone trusted, someone who cares about you, someone that you trust, to sit there and be with you. and listen. Really, I think you need a good listener in your life right now, actually, to get through this ending. You need a good listener. God, I really feel, whatever this is, group 3, I really feel for you, and don't think that you need to get over it. That's a big message that I'm getting. Don't think that you need to just click, snap out of it. You know, this is not a snap out of it sort of a situation from what I'm getting. Okay, so that's what I have for you, group number 3. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and thank you for supporting me on Patreon. All the best, good luck, and I'm going to move on to group 4. So group 4, how do you deal with this ending? 4 of Wands. 4 of Wands. Honestly, I'm getting a slightly different message for this one, 4 of Wands. How do you deal with this ending? Are you sure this is even an ending? I'm just going to say that about group 4. And it's 4 of Wands and it's group 4, and I think that's very cute. Are you so sure that this is an ending, or is it actually, because what I'm getting is like there's different types of endings, right? There's like that kind of death and rebirth ending, but an ending can also be like a graduation. Are you thinking that something has ended, but it's actually just graduated into something like a level up, and it's actually a cause for celebration? I'm kind of getting that energy. Is this something that genuinely has ended, or did a version of it end and it's actually your graduation into like some sort of a level up, and it's actually a cause for celebration? We'll get more cards. Because I keep getting this idea that you're graduating. It's like you're not dying, you're graduating. What is this? Judgment card gives me graduation energy. It's like awakening. It's a level up. This is not a death. This is not like an ending and now I have to go and do something different. It was like a lesson that I learned. It's more like like you're graduating. You're graduating one class to go into the next one. Everything has to end. The Hermit. What I'm kind of getting is, but maybe you feel like you're just lonely because this kind of has this energy. Something that I'm picking up with this group. You know, when kids skip like classes, you know, when kids are so smart, they're like able to skip class, and it's like then they're the youngest one in their class, and because they're so smart or whatever. This has that energy that maybe you feel like you skipped a couple of lessons, that you were able to skip a couple of lessons. It's not like you skipped them because you were incompetent. It's like you actually skipped them because you were able to get a hang of them so quickly. But it gets lonely is the feeling. It's like when you're able to learn so quickly, when you're able to process things so quickly, it gets lonely. So I guess that's where maybe you're something about this ending, which is actually sort of a feeling of graduation, feels lonely. 5 of Swords. Why am I getting that you feel like people resent you, or this is really this energy of someone who like progresses so quickly that other people resent them, and that actually affects them in this very difficult sort of a way. I just, all of a sudden, I just got this energy of loneliness. Like, I just feel so, it's like, yeah, I get it. I get it. I learned the lessons very quickly. And this kind of has this energy of maybe you go into an interview for a job and you've kind of learned the lessons so well that you see first red flag in an interview, you know, where the interviewers are trying to maybe say, oh, well, we can't give you your salary that you asked for, but we can give you this, that you're just like, no, I'm not gonna, no, thank you. Like, I'm not gonna accept the offer. And it's like, yes, that's great that I'm able to reject these offers, but it makes me feel incredibly lonely, and it makes me feel like I'm actually more limited. Or this, maybe you're someone who's like dating and you're going on dates and you see, you know, first sign of a red flag. You've had enough lessons where you're like, okay, I'm not going to see that person again, even though there was chemistry, even though there was this like, okay, I like them, but then I saw this red flag, I'm not going there again. But fuck, that makes me feel very fucking lonely. And yeah, I'm graduating, but I'm feeling lonely in the same vein, and I'm fucking pissed off. So I feel like your guides are, what they're saying is that they hear you. What they're saying is that they hear you, they understand you. It isn't an easy path. I just feel like your energy is like, this period in your life, you're learning very quickly. You're like, boom, 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 boom. It takes you nothing to learn. It takes you nothing to learn. You have one experience and you've learned everything you need to. You're like, boop. You're like a computer. You're just like, okay, okay, I got that. I understood that. I understood this. I understood that. But it's like making you feel lonely because maybe other people around you are not learning as quickly. And it makes you feel like maybe certain people are jealous, or certain people are like coveting your progress. Because it's funny because your guides are giving me this energy of like, you should be like, they're not doing it in a patronizing way, but the energy that I'm getting is like, you should be happy that these endings, they're not endings, it's like they're graduations. You're slowly graduating. It's amazing. Like, they're very proud of you, actually. But they understand how you, from your perspective, are tired of it. But I'm kind of getting you're passing every test. Like, you're really passing every test. 12th house, escape. They're calling upon you to have a lot of detachment in this situation right now. They're asking you, in this next phase, for the next while, they're asking you to completely detach from your expectations. I know it's not easy. And like they're saying, we know it's not easy. And they kind of sense this feeling of you being tired of it. Like, I'm kind of getting this energy of someone who's like, I'm tired of tests. I'm tired of tests. I want my rewards. And they're saying you will celebrate very, very soon. You will celebrate they're like, we promise you. Judgment card is the second last card of the Major Arcana. And it makes me think of like this kind of like, okay, last push, last hurdle. And that's exactly the energy I'm getting with this reading. But they keep specifying that whatever ending you're asking about, it's not exactly an ending, it's more like a graduation. And I think that's going to mean different things for a lot of you. But what they're saying specifically with this ending, they're asking you to detach from all outcome, because whatever is going to happen here, it's not going to be what you expect. Basically, what I'm seeing is like the next few months of your life, nothing is going to be the way you expect it to be. Nothing. That maybe you've had a few months where you were able to manifest things and you were able to predict what was coming. This next couple of months, you will not be able to predict. You will not be able to predict what's coming. And that's a good thing. Okay, South Node. This is very past life energy. I think you are, in this period of your life especially, you are passing the tests that you have not passed in past lives. There's a lot of upgrade energy here. And there's a lot of need to detach. just it I kind of feel like you've never, like, your soul has never done what you're about to do in your life in the next few months. And there's a need to just embrace that and know that you cannot predict the future. I don't know if you're someone who reads tarot. Maybe that's what's coming through here. Like, maybe you're someone who reads tarot. Maybe you're someone who does channeling or mediumship or something like that. And I'm really getting, you will not be able to predict whatever is coming in the next few months. And it's a good thing. It's a good thing. Third house. It's funny because third house makes me think of, you know, siblings, childhood friends, and oftentimes when maybe you feel bad that you've outgrown certain people that you grew up with, there's a feeling of you outgrowing, but it's okay. You outgrew each other. It's not just, you know, but I'm just feeling this sense of sadness that these people that you had by your side, you no longer fit into the same realities in a sense at this point in your life. And so I think you're feeling quite lost, but at the same time your guides are like, you're not lost at all. You're actually exactly where you're supposed to be. You're exactly on track. But the energy for you feels like, I don't fucking understand what's going on. And they're saying, exactly, we got you to the perfect place where you're supposed to not know what's going to happen next. Like, it's yay. Like, that's what they wanted the whole time. That was the goal. And you're about to go through a period of your life where, like, I'm kind of getting readings, you know, reading tarot, it will be no use. It will be no use. Because the period of your life that you're going into group 4, as a result of this ending, but more, they're again saying graduation, it's not something you predict. It's just something you navigate. That's what I'm getting. That's very interesting. Okay. This was a cool reading as well. All of them are, but thank you so much, group 4. Thank you for stopping by, and thank you for supporting me on Patreon. That was your reading. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.